What a game! This just may be the biggest win-win trade we have seen in a very long time, and it only took like a week for each of these teams to receive their dividends. My goodness, dude. The Andrei Kuzmenko, Elias Lindholm trade. I should stop saying Elias. It's Elias. I get it. Elias Lindholm. Okay, my bad. The Elias Lindholm Kuzmenko trade has paid off in spades because you had yourselves Vancouver versus Carolina tonight. Vancouver wins 3-2, 2 goals scored by Lindholm. How do you do? You've got Boston versus Calgary. That's currently ongoing at the time of me recording this audio. Andrei Kuzmenko scored a power play goal there too. The Kuzmeister going out there and doing what it is that he does when he is confident and when he's got that spark, coming right in and sniping goals. Not to say that Andrei Kuzmenko is going to be like the same 40-goal, 29 shooting percentage guy from last year, but hey, if he goes over to Calgary and has that spark, which we've seen in the first game against Boston so far, it could be a lot better for the Kuzmeister in Calgary versus the way things ended off here in Vancouver. I said it in the video yesterday, man. Kuzmenko, when he is on, he is absolutely electric. And I mean, based off of what we had seen in the early parts of this game, it's seeming that Jonathan Huberdeau has found that chemistry to get some good passes along his way. So hopefully we'll see some Kuzmenko dominance as the year goes on. But if you're a Vancouver Canucks fan, you don't care too much about this Calgary-Boston game. Let's talk about the Canucks and the Hurricanes. It is Van versus Carr, the battle of the automotive technologies, I guess you could say. And the Canucks squeak out with a 3-2 win that was really tight, really fast-paced, and one of the most entertaining games we have seen all year. Like, for the most part, a lot of these Canucks games, especially the ones where they have the lead and they're trying to sustain that record of winning games after being up after 2 periods, like, for the most part, the Vancouver Canucks have had some pretty quote-unquote easy deciding wins, where by the halfway mark of the third, by the 15-minute mark of the third, you can kind of feel it, okay, yeah, they're going to win. Like, everything is going their way, it's good, they're going to get the 2 points, it's all fine. But this game, up until the final buzzer, man, was Vancouver on their feet? Was Vancouver trembling with anxiety? Because this game was a Carolina hurricane that the Vancouver Canucks had to just weather the storm and try to stabilize themselves within. They reach the eye of the storm and they pull off the victory. Now, when it comes to the story of this game, of course, Elias Lindholm was the big one, but secondary scoring was special teams, because an early Canucks power play 3 minutes in, it's Sebastian Aho for tripping, and the Canes penalty kill in this absolutely goes balls to the wall. They are so active. They're super aggressive, and they end up scoring a shorthanded goal. Jordan Martinook forces it into the Canucks corner. He plays it to Teravainen. Nice little give and go. Martinook cuts to the net, and he scores. The Vancouver Canucks, caught lackadaisically backchecking, are not able to get this one away. How fitting is that, eh? The Canucks have themselves, their 3rd straight game with a shorthanded goal against? The Canes, though, with such an unorthodox penalty-killing style, they want to score, and they want to create offense, despite being short-handed. There are a few chances immediately afterwards. Connor Garland hit the crossbar as the same Sebastian Aho power play expired. Dakota Joshua had a grade A chance in front that was stopped by Pyotr Kochetkov. But those power play markers, they come back to haunt Carolina, because the Canucks get another power play with 3:43 left to go in the first. It's Jack Drury hooking on Teddy Bluger. It's Quinn Hughes who takes a long shot, and it's tipped in by Elias Lindholm just minutes after Andrei Kuzmenko scored his first goal with the Flames in Boston. It's Besser with the secondary assist, Hughes with the long shot, and Lindholm the tip. It was a really wide shot, and Lindy just kind of beautifully pulls it back into the center of the net to get it by Kochetkov and tie the game up at 1. Connor Garland then set up Dakota Joshua on the very next shift. They looked so good together. And after the first period, I was kind of feeling good. I was like, yeah, the Canucks had some good control there. They bounced back with a very nice power play marker. It's good to see Elias Lindholm getting on the board there. But Vancouver really started putting on a clinic towards the end of that second period as well. Because in the second, the Canucks had a 2-minute offensive zone shift with good movement. They got 2 line changes in there, and Stefan Noesen didn't have a stick for most of it. The Hurricanes had themselves their own pressure too. Ian Cole had a penalty for hooking on Jordan Staal. The Hurricanes' first power play of the game, the Canucks were able to kill it off, but the Canes had a lot of pressure. Eventually, you have yourselves Pettersson drawing himself a penalty on Teravainen. With 4 minutes to go, the Canucks go back onto the power play, and on demand advantage, it is Elias Lindholm again, another tip-in chance. Besser and Hughes once more getting the secondary and primary assists. Hughes with the long shot, and it's Lindholm with the tip in front, making it 2-1. Fantastic goal there from a guy that has been put in this spot to succeed, and hey, he's doing so far. 2 goals and 2 power play chances for Elias Lindholm. Hughes and Besser, of course, with 2 assists each. The Canucks then take themselves a really dumb penalty with 1:50 to go in the second period. It's too many men. The Canucks have themselves, 10 too many men penalties on the season, and this one was definitely one of the worst ones considering that they had 3 defensemen on the ice at the same time. Eventually, it's Sebastian Aho on the power play. He scores from the left flank. Beautiful top cheese snipe. Totally beats Thatcher Demko top shelf far side. Just a really nice opportunity there. But it's 2-2 at the end of the second. And at this point, I'm kind of feeling, the Canucks still had, maybe the better chances. But Carolina definitely has an opportunity to maintain their pressure and get on the board. But that doesn't come out too quickly, because in the third period, it's JT Miller who makes it 3-2. 4 minutes into the third period, it's a really weird play by Tyler Myers who dumps it into the Hurricane zone. The puck bounces off of, I think it's the skate of Kochetkov in front. Besser taps it, and Miller is right there to put it into the open net. It's a 3-2 game off of a fluky bounce. If I was a Carolina Hurricanes fan, I'd probably be really pissed off that that was the game-winning goal. But JT Miller, right place, right time. Brock Besser has himself 3 assists on the night. And afterwards, once it was 3-2, you started to see the Vancouver Canucks exhibit that same strategy that we have talked about in multiple videos already. Once the Canucks have that lead, they kind of just go into autopilot. They go into shutdown mode. They go into, okay, all we got to do is just survive kind of mode. Not really because they're trying to go out there and force goals themselves anymore, but because they just want to match the pace of their opponent and make their lives a lot more difficult. And it works. It's kind of anxiety-inducing, but it works. The Hurricanes had so many opportunities. There was a 7-minute shift with no whistles in the midst of this third period. Back and forth action, lots of pace, lots of shots. Brent Burns just totally firing it from all cylinders. Marty Necas looked fantastic in this game. Just the amount of spinoramas and the control he has on the puck, and how he forced play at will in the O-zone. He set up Kotkaniemi with a brilliant feed in front, but KK could not bury the biscuit. And with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, the Hurricanes pulled the goalie. Dakota Joshua had a big block. He played it down into the Hurricane zone, but there's no goal there. Eventually, JT Miller gets hooked in the Canucks zone whilst the Hurricanes are trying to get that goal. No call on the play. Miller eventually tries to take a shot at the empty net. It misses, and icing is called with 57.2 seconds remaining. The Canucks, though, are able to hang on and win the game in regulation. That is a big 2 points from one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, and admittedly, the only problem that Carolina has at this point in the season, I'd say, it's their goaltending. Every other one of these advanced analytics of goals and power play, etc., penalty kill, they have been phenomenal. It's just their goaltending has been very subpar at best. So, the fact that the Canucks actually had themselves a pretty tough go against the Carolina Hurricanes team that was able to result in a Canucks win. They were able to take the 2 points. They were able to maintain that momentum from that Columbus game. That is absolutely brilliant. And now they are first overall in the NHL unanimously. They have the most points because Boston lost to Calgary. They have the highest points percentage because Boston lost to Calgary. And the Colorado Avalanche, they're playing right now as well. They can't catch up to Vancouver even if they win. So Vancouver is the number 1 team, undisputed now in the NHL. It comes off of a win against the Carolina Hurricanes with Elias Lindholm getting 2 goals in his Canucks debut against the team that drafted him 10 years ago. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this Canucks and Hurricanes game. What are your thoughts about Kuzmenko getting on the board in Calgary too, and helping the Canucks from afar by stopping the Boston Bruins and keeping their winning streak at bay? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And Bye.